Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers and updates reveal Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst will meet with Drew Quartermaine, Cameron Matheson, in an upcoming episode. Elizabeth and Drew were once lovers and were engaged when he was still Jake Doe. Perhaps she thinks she may be able to talk some sense into him. Drew has changed so much since his release from Pentonville prison. He's barely recognizable as the same man. He's even estranged and made an enemy of Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner. Drew has gone from being a hero to a zero, and more duplicitous than a Cassadine. He's even stolen his nephew's wife, which is only the latest scandal. Elizabeth will have a difficult mission to talk any sense into Drew now, because he is no longer the man she was engaged to and a real father figure to her boys. Possibly what is driving Elizabeth to try and talk some sense into Drew more than anything else is the way he has shown blatant disregard for Emily Scout Quartermaine's, Cosette Abinat, wishes. Scout lost her mom and wanted to stay in the blended family. Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, and Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna had formed, but Drew fought that from the start. Drew alone was responsible for being kicked out of the Quartermaine mansion, but so was Scout. And that's a different bone to pick with a different person. Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott. But for now, Elizabeth wants to appeal to Drew for Scout's sake. If he has any love for his daughter at all, before he was kidnapped, Scout was Drew's whole world. Drew seems to have switched his adoration for his daughter to Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, and her and Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell children. While Scout and they are related, and she may enjoy visits with Wiley and Amelia Corinthos, Viron Weaver, Sequoia, and Serenity Mork Mako, she is bonded to her brother. Scout is not only bonded to Danny Morgan, Asher Antonisen, she's also bonded to Rocco Falconeri. Finn Care. Elizabeth tries to tell Drew these horrible situations may strike a death blow to Scout's emotional security and cause her to be forever fearful of bonding to others. She's lost one close person after another, being separated from Danny and Rocco right after losing her mother. Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco. Willow is just not going to be a mommy substitute for Scout, even though she may try her best to do so. For that matter, Drew's forcing Willow into this move with him is too soon for Wiley and Amelia as well, because they just as much as lost their father. Michael may be away in that burn center indefinitely, and Willow wants sole custody. Is Drew going to come back to his senses and quit this sick chess game with children? Drew Kane has always been a man with a strong sense of justice, but lately, his actions have raised eyebrows all over Port Charles. From his heated confrontations with Carly to his reckless business dealings, it seems like Drew is spiraling in ways no one expected. But one person isn't willing to stand by and watch him self-destruct: Elizabeth Weber. Liz has been through enough heartache in her life to recognize when someone is drowning. And from the moment she crosses paths with Drew at the hospital, she knows he's in trouble. The question is, will he listen? Drew's downward spiral. Ever since his prison stint and the subsequent loss of his company, Drew has been operating with a chip on his shoulder. The once level-headed Navy SEAL-turned-businessman has been making brash decisions, throwing his weight around, and alienating those who care about him. His friendship with Carly, once rock solid, has turned into a battlefield. His relationship with Nina is non-existent, and even Sam is keeping her distance. But it's his business dealings with Valentin Cassadine that are the most concerning. Drew has always been cautious when it comes to anything Cassadine related, but lately, he's been making risky moves that suggest he's not thinking straight. He claims he's doing it for the sake of Aurora, for Scout's future, for his own sense of purpose. But those closest to him see the warning signs. One of those people is Elizabeth. A chance encounter at GH. It all starts when Drew ends up at General Hospital after an altercation at the Savoy. Curtis tries to talk him down after Drew makes some aggressive comments about the Cassadines. But when Drew pushes too far, a scuffle ensues. Curtis, knowing something is off, backs away. But Drew ends up on the wrong end of a bar stool when another patron gets involved. When Elizabeth sees Drew being treated for a minor head injury in the ER, she wastes no time confronting him. "What the hell is going on with you, Drew?" she demands, arms crossed as she watches him ice his jaw. Drew tries to brush it off, making a joke about how everyone has a bad night. But Elizabeth isn't buying it. This isn't just one night. I've been hearing things. Carly's worried about you, Sam's worried about you, and now I'm worried about you. Drew sighs, his blue eyes darkening as he looks away. I'm fine, Liz. Just tired of being underestimated. But Elizabeth knows that look. She's seen it before in men who are trying too hard to prove something, and she's not about to let him push her away. Elizabeth's tough love. Later that evening, Elizabeth tracks Drew down at the Metro Court Bar, where he's nursing a drink and looking deep in thought. She slides into the seat next to him without waiting for an invitation. You're not fine, Drew, and I'm not leaving until you admit it. Drew tenses. Why do you care so much? Because I know what it's like to go down a path you can't come back from. I've made bad choices when I felt like I had no control over my life. I see you doing the same thing, and I don't want you to wake up one day with regrets you can't fix. Drew exhales sharply, swirling his drink in his glass before setting it down. I don't have time for regrets. Liz, I need to win. I need to prove that I can take back what's mine. Elizabeth shakes her head. And at what cost? Your friendships? Your sanity? Drew, this isn't who you are. Drew opens up. But is it enough? For the first time, Drew actually looks like he's considering her words. He sighs, rubbing his hands over his face. Don't you know what it's like to come back from the dead, twice, and still feel like you don't belong anywhere? Elizabeth softens. Yeah, actually, I do. Drew looks at her, realizing she's right. She's lost people. She's been through hell. Maybe she does understand. I feel like no matter what I do, I'm always someone's second choice. Sam moved on. Carly doesn't need me the way she needed Jason. Even Scout barely knows me because I keep getting ripped away from her. Elizabeth reaches for his hand. That doesn't mean you have to destroy yourself to prove your worth. But is Drew ready to hear that? A crossroads. Which path will Drew choose? Their conversation ends with Drew promising to think about what she said, but Elizabeth isn't convinced that one heart-to-heart will be enough. The real test comes when Valentin offers him an even riskier business deal, one that could either make him a fortune or ruin him completely. Carly, Sam, and even Sunny warn him to be careful, but it might be Elizabeth's voice in his head that ultimately makes the difference. Will Drew finally listen to reason, or is he too far gone? One thing's for sure. Elizabeth isn't giving up on him yet. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.